Phil Spencer doesn't like platform exclusive DLC, which isn't the first time we've heard about this, and he also recognizes the irony in saying that, considering Xbox is the brand that kind of started the whole trend. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And yeah, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, loves to give interviews with anybody that it really asks. So this interview was with GameSpot at the Brazil Game Show. And the reason I want to talk about it is because this always gets brought up on the podcasts I listen to and things like that about his distaste for platform exclusive DLC. But at the same time, you know, Phil's trying to lock down PUBG or the Rise of the Tomb Raider. So doesn't that make Phil a hypocrite? And we're going to talk about all that right now because there's some really, really interesting information. And the reason I like hearing about Phil Spencer and the interviews he gives, because you get a glimpse into the head or the thinking of what Phil is maybe planning for the future of Xbox. So it's always cool to kind of read and learn more about what he sees the future of gaming will be like, and because that is touched upon here. Now, the article basically talks about platform exclusive DLC, right? PS4 has a lot of it this gen, Destiny 2 being a prime example, some Star Wars stuff, Red Dead Redemption 2. And they asked Phil, what does he think about that, right? And he goes, people always knock me on this. I've been on record. I don't love the idea or practice of us paying so other platforms can't play or use a certain gun in a game or do a certain level. Now, obviously, he's referring to the, a certain gun being like the Destiny 2 related stuff, right? He says, I know I say that in Xbox history, DLC exclusivity windows with Call of Duty. I understand the fingers are pointing right back at Xbox. I can only be who I am. It's not the best PR answer, but I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, Xbox kind of wrote the playbook on this exclusivity DLC. They did it with Call of Duty. They did it with all the brands last gen when they were winning, when they were number one and everybody wanted to market with them. And Xbox leveraged their position to get exclusive content for pre-orders or a 30-day window for exclusive DLC. Well, positions have flipped. Now Sony's number one and people want to advertise with them, so Sony is leveraging their position to get exclusive stuff from Destiny or exclusive stuff from Rockstar, exclusive stuff from Star Wars. But Phil says he didn't really like it then and he doesn't like it now. The difference being back then, he wasn't in charge of making the decisions, but now he is. And if you notice, Shadow of Mordor and Assassin's Creed Origins, the two games they do have marketing deals with, there is no exclusive Xbox content. And you can make the argument that maybe that is bad for Xbox gamers, because clearly it seems to be working for PlayStation. Yes, PlayStation currently has a sizable lead on Xbox in worldwide sales. It's a little bit smaller in the United States and North America, but extra content obviously works. It worked last gen, and it's working this gen with Destiny and all these other games selling maybe a little bit more on PlayStation than they do on Xbox. And, these companies do this stuff because it works. So, should Xbox do it with Assassin's Creed or Shadow of Mordor to maybe drive purchases there? Possibly. I know Xbox fans have called out for that as a reason, you want content on your system, but Phil doesn't like that, right? Now, of course, this is where the whole Phil is a hypocrite thing kind of comes in that I've heard a lot of people recently talk, because they equate platform exclusive DLC to funding a game or publishing a game. And a lot of people confuse the two, because he immediately goes into PUBG, where Microsoft just announced and Bluehole announced that they are the publisher of the Xbox console version of PUBG. And he goes on to say People ask when it's coming to PlayStation. He says, I got a deal working with Bluehold to build the very best version of PUBG. That's where I'm focused. Right now, we're helping that game come to console. Our focus is on making the best games possible. So the difference is they view that as funding and helping a game achieve its potential. Microsoft is basically building the Xbox version of PUBG. Like, Bluehole is focused on the PC version. There's a team of Microsoft engineers building that. And that is the deal they made, similar to the Rise of the Tomb Raider deal. I mean, there's rumors going around that the Rise of the Tomb Raider would have been episodic until Microsoft stepped in and gave Square Enix money to make that a full game. You know, Sony went to Capcom and said, here's money for Street Fighter 4. And in return, Sony got the game forever, basically, right? Microsoft got a 1-year deal on Tomb Raider. Who knows how long this deal is with PUBG, because they feel that for their money, they should get some exclusivity window since they helped build the game. And if Bluehole's going to have to build a Sony version or a PlayStation version of PUBG, they're going to have to talk to Sony, and maybe Sony is going to have to make that game for them, because Bluehole was like 100% focused on the PC version, as they should be, because that is where, like, the majority of the people who are going to play that game, I mean, that's where it got its start, that's where the popularity exploded on, so they're focused on that. Sony might have to be like, all right, we'll publish the game on PlayStation and build it ourselves, and at that point, you know, Sony would have funded the game, but I digress. Now, he goes on to talk about Cuphead, another deal that Microsoft made. He says that when games come along, sometimes Cuphead's a good example, and the team had an ambition that they wanted to do. And together with them, we wanted to invest more. We saw more opportunity, and what that turned into was us having an exclusive game on our platform. That's a game that probably wouldn't have happened the way it did if we didn't invest the way we did. Now, that's the reason why Cuphead is console exclusive to Xbox. Microsoft saw that game, talked to the developers. Microsoft saw the potential in the game. The developers wanted to build their dream version of the game. Remember, because originally it was just going to be like 10 bosses. It was just going to be a boss rush game. But Microsoft saw potential. They entered into agreement. Microsoft gave them money. And in exchange for helping fund the game and making the developers' dream ambition for the game come true, obviously, they in return get a console exclusive. They got the money to fund the rest of the project, and there you go. You get 17 bosses, you get running gun levels, you get an overworld, so it's an example of the developer getting what they needed, Xbox helping make that come a reality, and the exchange is Microsoft gets the game as an exclusive on console, even though it released on PC. Now, this is where the article even gets more interesting, because they talk about console exclusives, and are they a way to drive sales of a particular system? He says, while there'll probably always be full exclusives like these, speaking of like Halo, Gears of War, Forza, Uncharted, God of War, Phil sees the future of gaming lies in games that may not necessarily tied to a specific device. And a lot of hardcore gaming fans that are really kind of just focused on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo probably aren't going to understand exactly what he's talking about. And even sometimes I myself don't understand it, right? He says, if you define the gaming market as a console, and that's all you're focused on, then maybe that's an important part of the business consideration. I'd say one of the reasons PC is still strong is because of an open platform. Through things like crossplay, we're working to allow people to play together regardless of where you bought the game. If you're really about trying to drive just a specific device and say, I just looked at the gaming opportunity all up as a single device opportunity, maybe that's an approach, and we don't see it that way. We look at things that are really large in gaming today. We look at Twitch, Steam, PUBG, Minecraft. People on Minecraft on Switch are playing with people on the iPhone, right? He goes in talking about that and how that's what the gaming future is about. Getting caught in a definition of gaming, this is important. This quote here, getting caught in a definition of gaming that's about me trying to do everything I can to get you to buy one specific device to play one specific variant of games is not really about growing the business. Now think about what he's saying there. Because a lot of people out there be like, Xbox has no games because it doesn't have any console exclusives. You need to get a PlayStation to get true exclusives, or Nintendo to get those exclusives, right? That's kind of the jab everybody throws at Xbox. And people wonder, like, where are the exclusives with Xbox? Even though they are exclusives, they're also on PC. So some people don't really see that, right? They see Cuphead it's not an Xbox game because it's on Steam. And when State of Decay 2 comes out, well, that's also going to be on PC. And when Sea of Thieves comes out, that's on PC. You know, and when Forza Horizon 4 comes out, that's PC. So there's that kind of sense of, you know what, I don't need to own an Xbox because I can just get those games on PC. But when you talk about all this stuff, he says, to him, you're not growing the business if you're only trying to get you. If he's only trying to get you to buy one specific device to play one variant of a specific game. It's not growing the business. It's about exactly what they're doing with Minecraft and the crossplay with everywhere else. There's like bigger goals here, which is why they never turned Minecraft into an Xbox exclusive, because that would be dumb. So this is a nice little kind of look into what Phil is thinking about with Xbox and the future of gaming in general. You know, some people say that Sony's the right way to do it. You know, they're clearly leading. Maybe their approach is best. You know, you make their exclusive games and you only put it on their system, and that's the reason to buy it. But it seems like when you read these quotes that maybe Microsoft isn't really focused about that going forward. I don't know. But anyways, a lot of good information in this interview at GameSpot. I recommend you guys check out the article, read it for yourself. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about all this stuff. A lot of stuff in here. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you're always notified when new content drops. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope everybody has a great rest of the day. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.